So it's third day of the elk season here in Alberta, and been out doing a little looking around. Haven't seen much yet. We were on quite a few elk during the bow season, including some actually really good bulls, but haven't seen too much. So I'm gonna head out here this morning, and basically all we do on this property is just kind of get up on some high spots and glass. It's just a big open property with a big ridge that runs through the middle. So the best course of action is just kind of get up high and glass lots, and then if you see something, try to make a move on it. Where I'm going this morning, I've actually caught elk right below there before, so with any luck we'll see some this morning. But there's been some good feed on here. It's kind of the one hay crop that the elk seem to have been hitting the most, but we haven't seen them here for, man, it's been 3 or 4 weeks. So all we can do is keep putting the time in. It's kind of one of those properties, you're going to see elk here if you're here every day. It's just which day, so maybe it'll be this morning. Just a little over 390 yards, basically 400, but I got a spike, and there's a spike with a double main beam on them. Then there's a 2-point, and then there's what looks like a 3-point, and they got to be 3 points to be legal here.
But nothing I'm really that interested in this early in the season, but good to see some bulls out here.
And they're just fighting down there. But I got out here this morning and saw them on the next field over moving this way. They were moving pretty early. And there was 5 of them. And there was one bull in there that was obviously legal. Like, he was probably a 5-point. He's still pretty dark, but you could see he was lots of points on him. And they were all coming this way, so I dropped down in the trees behind me, got down on this ridge, and there's a bit of a swale here. Just boogied along here and kind of snuck up over the top, and they were right here. And they came right into 400 yards, and like easy shot. Shooting a Finlight 300 Win mag here, and got it dialed in for 600 yards, no problem. Like, the 400 yard shot was easy off the bipod. We got that new Zeiss V6 on here, and I've got the ballistic reticle in it, and it was pretty easy shot if it was going to happen. But with any luck, I'll come out tonight. I didn't spook them at all. They haven't got a clue I'm here. I'll come out and try and intercept them coming this way. Vanessa was out last night, and 2 bulls came out. We looked at the video, and I think it was 2 of these smaller ones, but hopefully that bigger one comes out with them tonight. I'll get down here where I got a little better chance at them, and hopefully that big one comes by. Well, I think I'm just going to slowly back out of here. Make sure I don't get spotted.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Zeiss, we make it visible. Defense Aerosols, bear spray, for when your life depends on it. Sacco Rifles, demand perfection. Closed captioning brought to you by PSE Archery, the precision compound bow experience. Introducing the Carbon Air Stealth 35, along with a new Evolve cam system powered Evoke 35 and Evoke 31, PSE's newest precision compound bows. Well, we got our Zeiss V6 scope mounted on top of our Finlight here. It's chambered in 300 Winchester Magnum, and we found a load that it really likes to shoot, and that just happens to be this Precision Hunter ammo from Hornady, and we're shooting that 200 grain ELDX bullet, and we're well sub MOA with this load, so really happy with that. We have it zeroed at 100 yards now. So now what we're gonna do is set it up for long range, and there's a super easy way to do that, and Zeiss makes it really easy. with the Zeiss Hunting app, and it's a ballistic app that applies to every one of their scopes. You can choose whatever scope, whether it's the new V6, the V4, or even the old HD5s with the Rapid Zs in them. All of the information is in here. So they make it super simple. All I need to do really is just plug in this factory ammo, and what it's going to do is give me the yardage on all my secondary hash marks on my reticle, and it's also going to tell me how many clicks I need to turn the turret if I want to use the turret instead. The only variable in there is muzzle velocity, and if you're only going to be shooting 400 or 500 yards, the information they got in here is going to be plenty. But if we start stretching that yardage, and we want to turn this into a 1,000-yard rifle for sure, so we need to know the actual muzzle velocity. So what I'm going to do here is test the muzzle velocity through the chronograph. Then we're going to go back in, enter that muzzle velocity in there, and then it's going to give us all the data we need to use the scope long range. Okay, so it looks like we're averaging right at 2830. So the app said we were going to be at 2850, so not too bad. So we'll punch 2830 into our app, and then it'll give us our hash marks and the turns on our turrets for long range. I can do that all on my phone, but why don't we just run inside and I'll show you on the tablet where it's a little easier to see. So the first thing we want to do is go into the App Store, and we want to hit search, and then we want to type in Zeiss Hunting. And what's going to come up is this Zeiss Hunting app here, and it's Zeiss Hunting for the Expert Hunter. What you want to do is download that. Now, obviously I've already got it downloaded, so I'm just going to open it. When this first opens up, you're going to have to accept that Zeiss knows your location, and it's important that you do this because if it does know your location, it will also know the weather for you are, so you won't have to put any of those variables in. And then we're going to go back to our dashboard, and we're going to add an entry. So we got a Zeiss rifle scope, and what we've got here is a Conquest V6 3 to 18 by 50, so I'm just going to click on that. So our sight height above the bore is 2 inches. Our sight in distance is 100 yards. What we're going to do is actually set it up for the reticle first. So right here it's got ASV. I'm just going to hit that, and I'm going to hit reticle. And the reticle we have in this is the ZBR2. So we are shooting factory loaded ammo here. You can also put in hand load info if you want, but this is simple. So go to Hornady, caliber is 300 Winchester Magnum. We're shooting ELDX Precision Hunter 200 grain. So it's put everything in for us already. It's got the ballistic coefficient of the bullet. It's got the muzzle velocity that's advertised by Hornady. Now we know our actual muzzle velocity is 2830, not 2850. So that's the one thing I am going to change. And I'm just going to go to continue now. See, it's given us our humidity, barometric pressure, everything. I just want to change the altitude. We are at 3,800 feet, and we're going to save that. We're going to name this profile, so let's call it Fin Light. 300 Win Mag. Save. So there we go. That gives us all the secondary hash marks on our reticle. That's really how simple it is. So I know that. Now, it's important that that's at 18 power. If I change my magnification, since this is a second focal plane scope, you'll see that your yardage changes on your hash marks, but it's simple just to leave it right at maximum magnification, and that gives you all you want there. Now, if I want to know clicks on my turret, it's just a matter of going to the table, and it's going to give you in 25-yard increments all the way up to 2,000 yards, and drop clicks right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the reticle first, and what it's telling me is the second hash mark down is 476 yards. We've set a gong up out there at 500, so I'm going to hold just slightly high on the black mark on there, and with any luck I'll hit it. I love that sound. We got a lot of wind blowing here today, so our left and right, but I mean, our elevation is perfect. I held the hash mark right there on the black, and you can see that give me that perfect 500 yard zero. So that's really good. Our left and right, we may have to wait for a little bit calmer day, but I'm super happy with that. That app just put us bang on. I'd say that gun will shoot. Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Stony Creek Hunting Gear. It's in the blood. Loa Boots, simply more. Silver Willow Taxidermy, see the difference. Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters. Well, I decided to play a little bit of hooky here this afternoon. Vanessa and I came out last night to see if we could find those bulls again that I saw yesterday morning. Unfortunately, the neighboring rancher that was hauling bales from another neighbor and going through the ranch we were hunting parked his tractor right in the middle of the field where we were hunting, so nothing came out. We're leaving on a moose hunt tomorrow. I have got nothing packed. I should be at home right now. I've got some writing to finish up, and I've got to get packed for the moose hunt, but when there's elk around, it's elk season. So I'm out here alone. I'm going to be doing this solo, so I've got more gear than I know what to do with. I've got 3 cameras with me, gun, a lot of stuff, but what I've done is I've moved a little further south on the property, and I figured with all the bale hauling going on and that tractor being parked there and everything, hopefully the elk move south. So what I'm going to do, there's a big ridge just up here behind me. I'm going to get up on top of it and glass, and I can see a good portion of the property from there. I can see several miles in 3 directions, and all I can do is just sit there and glass and hope, but it's going to be a long night. I still have to get packed, get the truck ready, get all the camera gear ready and everything else, but you know what they say, you can sleep when you're dead. So one of the big problems with this property is that it's just so big and open. It's a few miles wide and a few miles long, and there's a big ridge kind of separates it in the middle, but it's just these big flat open hay valleys on both sides, and the elk can literally come from anywhere. So what I like to do is just kind of get up high and glass, and then you know, if you see some elk, hopefully you can make a move on them. I've actually been amazingly successful doing this, so we'll see what this afternoon brings. It's kind of one of those properties that you need to be prepared to shoot long range on, and you know, I don't profess to be a long range shooter, and I'll always get closer, but it kind of really irritates me when people say, well, you're not much of a hunter if you can't get closer. If you look across here, there's spots where, you know, it's a half a mile or more of absolute flat country with nothing taller than a blade of grass, and the elk don't really live on this property. They come here to feed a lot. They'll sometimes spend a night or 2 here, but for the most part, the elk where we're hunting are just doing a big circle of all the properties around here, and this is the only one we have access on. So when they show up, you kind of want to be here to take advantage of it. Some more whitetails coming in down there. So I'm shooting this Saco fin light here, 300 Win Mag, and got that Zeiss V6 on top of it. And it's got both turrets and a ballistic reticle in it, so it's kind of got the best of both worlds. But we spend a lot of time practicing, and that's the only way you should ever take a long range shot, is if you're well practiced and well geared. And for all you guys who say get closer, you haven't hunted much if that's your response. There's just sometimes you can't, and sometimes out here you can't. We've taken a lot of elk off this property over the years, probably more than most people have. And it's just because of the way we hunt it and the amount of time we spend shooting at long range. But there's quite a few deer coming out already. Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Alberta Outdoorsman Magazine, Alberta's only hunting, fishing, and trapping magazine. Deluxe wall tents, built in Canada for Canadian conditions. Midland Radios, communication for every adventure. Tika Firearms, second to none.
There's some elk right now coming down onto that water hole. See about 20 of them. I'm actually right in the water. I only see cows and calves right now, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get down there. I've got a little over an hour yet, so I think what I'm going to do is get over there and get to right where I was sitting yesterday morning, and then from there it's about 300 yards down to that water hole, and hopefully there's a bull with them, but all we can do is go see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get over on the far side of this ridge, and then I can go pretty well unseen. The topography is actually pretty good here, so getting to where I was yesterday morning shouldn't be an issue. There's one little open spot to go through there, but if I stay low I should be okay. But let's get up on the other side of this ridge here, and I hope there's a bull. A whole bunch of elk scattered all the way up through the aspen over here. I couldn't see any bulls in them. No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and leave some stuff here. Man, I'm hot. And leave some stuff here. I'll leave a camera here. I'm just gonna try and crawl over. But if I want to get to there, because all those elk are moving down. So let me see what I can do. Okay, there's a good bull down there. He's kind of out front with a bunch. More coming down. The camera set up. Okay, 497. I just need that cow to move. Oh no, here comes that calf. Man, I hope that camera's still on him. He's down. He is down. Unbelievable. Holy, that was a big elk. Oh. Now there he is. Went about, I don't know, 40, 50 yards and just cratered. Took a lung shot on him, so can't wait to see him. What a beauty. Holy mackerel, look at the size of him. Yeah, perfect shot. Look at that. Oh man. That is a big, big bull. He's a typical 5x6. But he's got 2 points coming up here, but just mass galore. Just an absolute tank of a bull. Oh, a mile and a half away when I saw him, and I ran as fast as I could. I didn't even see a bull. I just saw a bunch of cows coming down to water here, and ran as fast as I could. And there's a spot where you can kind of sneak up and get on him there, and all of a sudden I looked and there was elk all over here too, and I was busted, but managed to sneak through all those elk, get over the top, and I'm looking and looking, and all of a sudden I saw this big guy, and there was another big 6 point in there, and got her done. But holy, you see how open this country is, and there is no way on earth to get close sometimes, and closest I could get was basically 500 yards, and put the 500-yard crosshair on him, squeezed the trigger, and I had no doubt he was going down, and heard that whop, and so he went just a little ways and cratered. But what a bull, what a bull. Last few minutes of light here. The great thing is I can drive the truck right here, and I got Vanessa on speed dial, so gonna get this big guy tagged, go back at the truck, start getting him gutted out, get him quartered up, get him home. I am absolutely pumped. Holy, like, what a bull. It just unbelievable.
These companies have provided products and services that are critical to hunts conducted on Outdoor Quest TV. You can check us out online at outdoorquesttv.com, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.